but due to the unfortunate U-turn that Corona has taken, we are here with you again virtually.
Girls, can I just interrupt? Can you be a little louder? Get the device closer to you, maybe.
Ma'am, it's better now?
Yes, much better. There is no audio, Yamini.
अरे यामिनी, गब्बर कब से पूछ रहा है होली कब है, होली कब है, आखिर कब है होली?
अरे होली तो 28 को है सरदार।
अच्छा, तब तो बड़ा मजा आएगा रे। So we are in the colorful month of Holi, and so is the colorful theme of our conference. We wish you all a safe and colorful Holi in advance and an equally colorful life ahead. आशा है मोहब्बत की रस्में निभाएंगे, आशा है मोहब्बत की रस्में निभाएंगे, दिल के रिश्तों को और मजबूत बनाएंगे। कुछ पलों के लिए ही सही जो आप आएंगे, ये हमारे गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर के लिए है। आशा है मोहब्बत की रस्में निभाएंगे, दिल के रिश्तों को और मजबूत बनाएंगे। कुछ पलों के लिए ही सही जो आप आएंगे, फूलों की क्या बिसात है, हम दिल बिछाएंगे।
In this new normal world, we take this opportunity to greet all our guests and speakers today with a virtual floral welcome. Though the flowers are virtual, but all our feelings are from our bottom of our heart. I now request all our guests to join us for a virtual lighting of the Samay.
Let the light of knowledge removes the darkness of ignorance and sufferings.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः 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 शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः।
यामिनी, वो डायलॉग याद है ना? गब्बर सिंह ये कह के गया, जो डर गया वो मर गया। लेकिन समय बदल गया है रे, आज के डेट में जो डर गया वही बच गया।
No problem. Take your time, Yamini.
Just a minute.
You can press escape and then press click.
वो आ गया, देखो देखो वो आ गया।
During these COVID times, we all have gone through the periods of fear and unpredictability. But in spite of so much turmoil in our personal and professional lives, Team NOGS, under the able leadership of our dynamic president, Dr. Vaidehi Marathe, has reached newer heights. This is the year in the history of NOGS that our prestigious institute has gone global, embarking its presence on bigger platforms like Foxy. So without much ado, let us welcome the Gabbar of NOGS, the multi-talented, innovative, and dynamic yet so friendly president to deliver her welcome address to the gathering.
Over
Thank
to
you.
ma'am.
Hello, yeah. Thank you so much, dear girls. Today's guest of honor, respected Sonali ji, and all my dear friends. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this extraordinary and the very first Digital Gynecon, the most awaited annual conference of our society. I'm immensely pleased to welcome today's guest of honor, Mrs. Sonali Bendre, who's one of the most fierce and strong women out there. She has faced all the obstacles in her life so bravely. Ma'am, you're a symbol of resilience and a role model for many of us. We are very thankful for your presence today. Friends, we had planned and designed this conference as the only physical event of our tenure. But God, or should I say Corona, he had some other plans for us. It seems the virus loves us so much that this RNA has now become a part of our DNA. Every single activity that happened during this year was done virtually. Although initially it was an unimaginably hard time, but with our positive belief and high soaring spirits, we took over the reins of our tenure with a bang. Working non-stop on the theme of our tenure, basics and beyond ordinary, and with our focus motto of inclusive NOGS, NOGS Connect, and Atmanirbhar NOGS, we defeated the tough, unprecedented, gloomy days of the pandemic. If necessity is the mother of invention, then crisis is the mother of innovation. Every adversity brings new experiences and new lessons. Don't ever downgrade your dreams just to fit into the reality. Instead, upgrade your conviction to match your destiny. And this is my firm belief. So we worked with full vigor on our motto and theme, including each and every member of NOGS, from the living legends to our Yuva NOGS. I'm so proud to share that the VR world of NOGS has achieved not only national but also international recognition, all because of your participation and Philip. Our journey, beginning with Jab We Met to the Jab We Get, has been nothing less than the extraordinary. Friends, today my heart is filled with mixed emotions and feelings in this last major event of our term. Although there is a tinge of disappointment for having to work in these tough times only virtually, but in return, we have been abundantly blessed with tremendous support, encouragement, and love from each and every member of our society. I would like to conclude by saying a massive thanks to all of you who made us achieve this unimaginable possibility. Every single member's presence has been a great inspiration, and I'm grateful to every member who was a part of my journey. Thank you so much for your constant support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your encouragement. Whatever we have achieved is a result of our unbreakable bond and cooperation. I will cherish this experience all through my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vaidehi ma'am, for the lovely welcome address. NOGS has really done so much in this critical year with encouraging new talents, giving platforms to the younger generation, acknowledging the work of past generation, and enjoying the present to the fullest. Let us now have a glimpse of all the hard work in a nutshell.
सोचा कहाँ था ये जो हो गया, माना कहाँ था ये लो हो गया, कि कोई काटो ना है हमको होश में, कदमों को थामो ये है उड़ते जोश में, बादल पे गाँव है या छूटा गाँव है, अब तो मैं चल पड़ी अपनी ये नाव है, जो दिखा पर था छुपा बस जाएगा वो नजर बादल पे पाँव है या छूटा गाँव है अब तो भाई चल पड़ी अपनी ये नाव है बादल पे पाँव है या छूटा गाँव है अब तो भाई चल पड़ी अपनी ये नाव है
So that was the crux of our team's hard work in this tenure. It was a wonderful tenure, Vaidehi ma'am. We all have enjoyed working with you a lot. Moving ahead, we have followed the mantra of haso or hasaya karo in our tenure. And hence, we have come up with an energious anthem with the valuable presence of all our past presidents and our executive team. We are lucky to have a family-like organization, and through this anthem, our aim is that our coming generations must know all the names and figures who are instrumental in bringing NOGS to today's stature. This is a kind of tribute from all of us to all our past presidents who have really worked hard to bring NOGS to today's level, and it will be a permanent record in our memories and heart. So, चलिए देखते हैं ये धुन.
उठे सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम उठे सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम आज ऐसे गीत गाया करो कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो उठे सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम आज ऐसे गीत गाया करो
कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो दिन और वो प्यारी रातें याद हम है मुलाकातें
नहीं कोई गम मुझे नहीं है गिला जिंदगी की राह में मिलाने जब से तुम मुझे रे हमदम शबनम हम है और तुम शोला बन जाया करो
कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो
उठी सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम आज ऐसे गीत गाया करो कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो जीने का तो जाने कहाँ ढंग गया है
किसे है फिक्र किसे क्या पसंद प्यार के जहां में रज़ामंद जब हम तुम
हम बन गए हैं सनम बेधड़क मेरे घर कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो
उठे सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम अजी ऐसे गीत गाया करो
कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो उठे सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम अजी ऐसे गीत गाया करो
कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो वो प्यारे दिन और वो प्यारी रातें याद हम मुलाकातें
नहीं कोई गम मुझे नहीं है गिला जिंदगी की राह में मिला है जब से तुम मुझे रे हमदम शबनम हम है और तुम शोला बन जाया करो
कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो वो प्यारे दिन और वो प्यारी रातें याद हम मुलाकातें
नहीं कोई गम मुझे नहीं है गिला जिंदगी की राह में मिला है जब से तुम मुझे रे हमदम शबनम हम है और तुम शोला बन जाया करो
कभी खुशी कभी गम तारा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो
उठी सबके कदम देखो रम पम पम आज ऐसे गीत गाया करो कभी खुशी कभी गम तेरा रम पम पम हंसो और हंसाया करो
ला 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 ला
ला ला ला ला
वाह मजा आ गया.
We are happy to announce another very great announcement of this tenure. We are releasing the NOGS app. In today's world, where everything is digital and everyone is going paperless, then why not NOGS? We have released an e-initiative called NOGS app, which we have named the NOGS Click. This will include details of all our NOGS members, including their birthdays, anniversaries, all important notices, notifications, even a link to the website, all programs, all under one click. This will be a permanent feature in our society. This app will be active in the next 8 to 10 days on App Store or Google Store. Let's have a look at the app. Amok, I request you to play.
Yeah, sure. Can I?
Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, I'll have to stop sharing, then I'll share my screen.
Sure, I'll do that.
Amok, visuals are not clear.
Ma'am, I think
Images are distorted.
Amok, should I play it from my side?
Yeah, Amok, it's not visible at all.
I'll stop it and I'll play
Yeah,
it from here.
maybe if it's visible from her end.
Should I try it?
There's a black box again, Amok.
Yeah. That will go.
Yeah, but the letters and all, everything is hazy and distorted. Now it's yeah.
Yeah, much better.
Go back a little bit, please.
So that was all about the app. गूगल भाई साहब को कौन नहीं जानता, बट हमारी प्रेसिडेंट तो गब्बर है. So NOGS में we have our NOGS का Google in the name of Noogle. We have released patient informative booklets, which are nothing but the hard work of all our team members, which are published in, English, Hindi, Marathi, 3 languages for patients' information. They are very handy booklets, and we have given it the name Noogle, that is NOGS ka Google. So let's have a look. We have released 12 Noogles till now, and today we are releasing the volumes 8th and 9th, which are brought to us by Dr. Bhakti Gurjar and Dr. Rachita Pahukar. We also have released Ready Reckoners as a pocket guide to all the major problems and emergencies in OBS, gynae, and infertility in the name of guideline booklets. So let's have a look, Yamini. With kind permission of our guest of honor, we are doing all this. Sonali ma'am. We have released 9 guideline booklets till now, and today we are releasing volumes 5th to 9th, We acknowledge the hard work of Dr. Sumit Baheti, Dr. Jayashree Upadhyay, Dr. Madhuri Gawande, Dr. Anupama Anand, Dr. Soumya Rathi, Dr. Divya Devani, and Dr. Rasika Gulane to bring out all these in front of us.
Throughout the tenure, we have acknowledged various talents of all our members. The hard work was done by Dr. Mangala Ghisar and Dr. Shivangi Jagirdar, and we have released 4 talent magazines so far. Today, we are releasing the Art and Craft Talent magazine. So let's have a look.
यामिनी, क्या बहक गई तू तो थीम के अंदर? ये प्रोज एंड पोएट्री का रिलीज किया है आज हमने. Today, our guest of honor is a diva personality who has not only excelled in her professional journey, but also in her personal life, facing all the difficulties and challenges coming her way with a brave smile. Yes, today we have with us our guest of honor, Miss Sonali Bendre ji. We once again officially welcome you, ma'am. चूंकि सबको पता है कि बसंती को बेफजूल की बात करने की आदत तो है नहीं, लेकिन चलिए आज बसंती के टांगे में बैठकर हम सब अपने गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर को रामगढ़ ले चलते हैं. सो नाउ आई वेलकम one of our versatile and spontaneous Basanti of NOGS, Dr. Anuradha Ridhorkar, to introduce our chief guest and take the session ahead. Over to you, Anu ma'am.
Amog, Amog, before that, can you pin Anuradha and our guest of honor, Sonali ma'am? Pin them on the screen, please. Highlight both of them. Spotlight kar do unpe. Yamini, please stop screen share.
I've stopped.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes. Amog, अब 2-3 लोगों को कर दे highlight.
धन्यवाद जय एंड वीरू जी ऑफ NOGS, ऑफ कोर्स शिवांगी एंड यामिनी. आपने सही कहा, हम अभी सीधा बता ही देते हैं. अभी आगे के कुछ समय तक हम सीधा सिर्फ सोनाली और सोनाली जी से ही बात करना चाहते हैं. वैसे तो फिजूल की बातें करने का हमें जरा भी शौक नहीं है, लेकिन बाद में मत बताना कि बसंती ने हमको कहा ही नहीं था, इसलिए चलो बता ही देते हैं. Friends, here I am, so lucky to talk to Sonali ji. You all know, सागरों से टकराता है उसे तूफान कहते हैं. सागरों से टकराता है उसे तूफान कहते हैं, मगर तूफानों से टकराता है उसे इंसान कहते हैं. Friends, today I'm going to introduce you one such tufani insan, none other than our beloved Sonali Bendre Bahel. In 1994, one beautiful young girl with a pleasant smile entered Bollywood as Parul, और उसने इंडस्ट्री में आग लगा दी. You're absolutely right. I'm talking about her movie Aag, for which no doubt she won both the Filmfare Awards, Lux New Face and Most Promising Newcomer. Yes, of course she was new promising newcomer. And then she really never looked back. The series of movies went on. Sarfarosh, Hum Saath Saath Hai, Jakhma. The list is unending. I'm not here to tell you the names of the movies. You can easily get it on one click on Google. I'm here to know the real Sonali. We all want to know the Sonali off screen. We want to know our Sonali. So Sonali ji, namaskar and welcome to NOGS. On behalf of all of us, I will simply love to interact with you. Sonali ji, you have already told us that you belong to a middle class Maharashtrian family. आमची मराठी मुलगी असं म्हटल्यावर तर तुम्ही खूपच जवळच्या वाटायला लागला आहात. But you tell me कि a Maharashtrian girl from middle class family joining or rather stepping into a world of cinema and making it a big Bollywood, हे कसं काय? Was it a choice or was it a chance?
First of all, namaskar. Thank you for having me here, and it's lovely. I've been watching the program, and it's been beautiful. Vaidehi ma'am, thank you for having me, inviting me to this, and sharing this moment with me. when I look at what the presentation that has been going on, it's amazing the amount of work that your society has been doing. And I really wish you all the best. I must point out that the fun part of it was that it is a gynecological society. And yet I love the way you approached it with a light-hearted way, and you're getting the laughs in. And the joyfulness of this presentation has been really nice, because we all need to have this happy faces and a good energy. So it was lovely to watch what you are all doing, and I really want to wish you all the best. All of you, happy faces. Please keep smiling, especially through this pandemic. So having started with that, Dr. Anuradha, the way you were mentioning that, yes, I do come from a very middle-class Maharashtrian family. I'm not brought up in Maharashtra. My father was in the government services, so I've traveled across the length and breadth of the country. So in fact, my younger sister and me, when we started speaking, we spoke more in Hindi than in Marathi. And just so that we would know our mother tongue, whenever we asked questions in any language, the reply, my parents always replied to us in Marathi, and that's how I learned Marathi, because I've never studied Marathi. So my thinking happens in English, but I'm very much a Maharashtrian girl in that sense. And yes, you know how Maharashtrian families are. You're engineers, doctors, you write, or you're in service, but you don't go into Hindi films, so to say. And I had not been brought up watching movies. In fact, I didn't know there were film magazines that existed, because what you read Reader's Digest or National Geographic, and those are the kind of programs you saw also. So definitely it was a very, very new world for me. But in this matter, I have to say the Maharashtrian roots come into play for me, because my parents were very, very apprehensive about it. I have an elder sister who wanted to, become an air hostess at a point, and she was not given the permission and said, "What is this? Nobody does this," etc., etc. And she said, "Okay," and she's done well. She's an HR manager and everything, but basically that was like, who does that? And this is not what we do. And then I came the second daughter, but that's always an advantage that a second child has, because the first child has done what they've done, and I've seen that, and I've said, I don't want to be stuck like that, and I want to do my own thing, and hence you push forward a little more. And at this point of time, I have to say that my Aji, that's my mother's mother, came into play. And when we were when the discussions were happening, and because I was getting a lot of offers, and Aji said to Ai that काहीतरी तिच्यामध्ये असणार म्हणून तिला एवढे ऑफर्स येतात, आणि डोंट यू ट्रस्ट युअर अपब्रिंगिंग. तू दिलेस ना तिला संस्कार दिलेले आहेत, आता यू हॅव टू लेट हर गो अँड सी हाऊ इट इज. And that statement made my mother think and say that, my mother who's been a housewife, and she said, yeah, I have always told my daughters, I don't want you to get married unless you're financially independent. And now when my daughter wants to do something, here I am stopping her. So she also started thinking about it. And then, this was more of a, kind of a push. And I accepted, and I told my parents, I said, okay, I'm pretty young, and give me 2-3 years. And, if nothing happens, I know this is a place where I can come back to, and I will. And I promised them that I would complete my graduation, and I would continue studying further, and etc., etc. So I did enroll, and I did all of those things. And I promised my father I would appear for all those government exams. So all these promises were given. And I said, I'm not going to run out of the time. I have the age on my side. So I promise I'll come back and do all of that. Give me 2 years, 2 to 3 years. And that's what was done. They gave me 2 to 3 years, and there's just never been any looking back since then.
Oh, so nice of you. So nice of you. So friends, just remember, those who are having Ajis in their house, they can take complete support. And those who are planning only one child norm, just remember, second child always has an advantage.
Oh, but I have only one child. He doesn't get the advantage.
सोनाली जी, हम लोग अभी भी याद करते हैं आपका टीवी शो अजीब दास्तां है ये. We still remember you anchoring in a beautiful way India's Got Talent and India's Best Dramebaz. And now let me ask you, and let me have an honest answer. Which one you used to like, whether cinema or TV?
Oh, they're both very different. and I like them both. And I don't mean it as a diplomatic answer, because both are very different. They bring different. You have to get different things to the table for them. So I enjoyed cinema. One part because it was such a different new world for me, and I got to play characters. And the thing that I like about cinema and when you play different characters is there's no way I can be what I am on screen in personal life. So be it the character I play in Hum Saath Saath Hai, I'm definitely not that docile. Or the fun character of Sarfarosh, or I remember I did a film with Ram Gopal Verma. I don't know what it's called. It was a comedy, and it was a mad character that I had played in it. That's not how I am in real life, but there are parts of my personalities that are like that. So it's great to be able to play it out in an environment which doesn't I don't have to pay the consequences of being that person. So it gets me to play these various characters, which I thoroughly enjoy. Now, where television was concerned, I started television quite early, and I enjoy it because it's not, when I do these talent shows and when I'm judging them, it's not scripted. And so what you see there is certain part of my own personality. And when I started doing television, the feedback that I got, I entered people's living rooms, which is a different reach altogether, because cinema, it's that huge big screen, and it's a little alienating experience, while when you get into TV or into people's homes. So it was a different kind of a connect with the audience. And I was just being myself, and the audience got to see the personal side of me. Where Ajeeb Daastaan Hai is concerned was the first time that you played a character for a really long time, because there were a lot of episodes, and it was very interesting. It was very exhausting because the television is a very, very long hours. But I got to play a character for so long that it became a part of me to a certain degree. So different ups and downs in different fields, but I enjoy them for different reasons.
Thank you, Sonali ji. I think that is the beauty. You give your 100% in whatever you are doing, and that's why you create a special impact. We still remember Bombay देखने के बाद बाहर निकले थे तो बस हम्मा हम्मा बाई सोनाली जी याद आ रहा था. मराठी मूवी अगं बाई अरेच्या पाहिलं त्याच्यानंतर छमछम करता. We remembered Sonali for your that special impact, and hats off to you for that.
Thank
now
you.
we are moving towards reality from this fantasy world. 4th July 2018. Whole nation got shocked when Sonali ji tweeted that she has got one cancer for which she's going to New York for her treatment. We really received a big shock in our life. What was your first reaction, and why you felt that you should talk openly about it or you should tweet about it?
Well, a couple of things. It was definitely a complete shock for me, totally unexpected, because everybody thinks ki ye mujhe nahi ho sakta. This can't happen to me. And in that sense, it was like, how can this be happening to me? For a while, I thought it was it was a dream, and I'll wake up from this. It's just a nightmare. And then you realize every day when you wake up the next day that no, this is not a nightmare, and this is not going anywhere. And you wish that this doesn't happen and it goes away, but it doesn't go away. So you have to face the reality. I was in the middle of shooting for a show at that point of time, and social media, internet has made this world really small in that sense, very well connected. You don't really, things come out in any case. And I know that while I was shooting and suddenly I was going to disappear from the public eye, there would be stories about it and there would be comments about it. And I didn't want there to be gossip around that part. And I wanted the story or the narrative to be mine. I didn't want it to be a narrative that would affect my family and my child and my old parents or my mother-in-law, etc. Because then there would be speculation, and I did not want all of that around it. What is it? What is not? Etc. Etc. So it was more like, what? Let me tell it as it is. This is what it is. Give me some time. We are going to deal with it as a family, and let me go on to deal with it. And I thought that was the idea behind putting that tweet out, so that there would not be gossip around it. And when I put the tweet out, the response that we got was so phenomenal. Like, my team was overwhelmed, with the response we got. And what we realized, there were a couple of things that we realized. We realized that this is really not as uncommon as I thought it was. There are a lot of people who have gone through this. It's not kind of contained to one strata of society or one type of people, or stuff like that. This disease has gone across board, from rich to poor to villages to cities. It has been on it's just rampant, and it's very much a part of people's lives. And what surprised me was that why did I think that this was something that happens very rarely? What I realized from the response was that it's really not so rare, and nor is it a new disease. It's been around since medieval ages, and this disease has been, it's pretty much rampant. And what I realized was that nobody spoke about it. The response and then in the response, a lot of people reached out and said how they'd hidden it from their parents, from their families, or from society. And when I had reached out, the response that I got from people, the love that I got from people, the way my friends and families and my support system came around and were there to support me. And what I realized was that, people who hid this disease and have been going through this treatment without the support of loved ones, how sad was it? And for what? Just because it's a taboo topic and you don't want to talk about it? And that's when I felt that, why is there no conversation around it? And I felt that we need to talk about it, just if nothing else, just so that you can get the support, because, you're going through so much. And this is one disease where the treatment is even more deadlier than the disease itself. And it's going to put you through so much, and you're going to need all the help to get back on your feet. And when you hide it, you're really not letting people come out and support you, because they don't know that you need a support. So that was one of the reasons why I decided that we will keep talking about this, and we will make this more of a conversation, because if people are listening, and let them reach out. And that's when I kind of continued on this conversation. The other thing that I realized, and because I think we are here on a platform where most of you are doctors, and it's a part of the society, what I realized also was that early detection saves life. And had my disease been detected at an earlier stage, I wouldn't have to go through all the side effects that I'm going through today. It would have, yes, my life was saved, but it was a very, very, very close call. And why should one have to go through that? And because of that close call, the kind of the harshness of the treatment has a lot of side effects for me till today. And I needn't have gone through all of this. Had I detected it earlier, it could have been, we could have, saved us all a lot of trouble. And hence, the more we have a conversation about it, and the more we look at it, the faster you can detect it, the more lives that can be saved. So that was another reason why I said this needs to be spoken about. Third thing, my husband sent me this piece that came into a newspaper, that when I spoke about it, and I spoke about what was the, there was a surge in the amount of women who went in for checkups. And, he said that, look, Sonali, look at what you coming out and talking about it has done. And I think this itself is a huge achievement, and you need to keep doing it, is what he told me, because the amount, and then there were so many women who reached out, and, they went for a checkup just because I had come out with it without expecting anything. And so many of them wrote to me saying that, I was at the first stage, I was at a pre-cancerous stage, and you know what, we detected it, got out of my system, and I'm okay. And thank you for saving my life. I would have realized it much later, because you're all gynecologists, we are all women, and me being an educated woman also, I have to admit that we all avoid going to a gynecologist. We leave it for the last moment. We do not go for, your basic tests. And we there is a certain amount of shyness about it. And I admit to it also. In spite of being educated and everything, there is a shyness to it, and you don't want to go ahead and do this. And hence it was important to come out and say that, look, even I felt the shyness, but this is important, because you know what? Feeling shy is more important, is not more important than your life itself. And hence we need to go out and we need to do the test. Other thing that I realized was that, like when there are different types of cancer, we put cancer in one bracket, but cancer is of different types. And we're all gynecologists, so you need an oncogynecologist for it. A breast cancer is completely different from a endometrial or ovarian cancer. And you need to go to specific, and there needs to be specialization in those subjects. Or a lung cancer or a skin cancer is completely different. It's like, you don't go to an orthopedic for a heart ailment. And, for people to understand, everything is just put under one big bracket and everybody just says, oh, it was a cancer. And what is it? That specialization is important. And when your doctors tell you to do tests, respect it. Rather than saying, oh, they are making us do so many tests, we have to celebrate the fact that my test has come negative. Great. Oh. Rather than saying, oh, we are being made to do tests, because this test is what is going to show us there's no other way the doctors are going to be able to help you. So all these things is what I realized and I felt was needed to be part of conversation for general public and women in general also.
Thank you.
Wrong answer, sorry.
No, it was a need of an hour. And thank you for those honest words. And I completely agree with you. Many ladies, only because of taboo or shyness, they don't come forward. Forget about other common people. Even there are so many doctors, so many gynecologists who are hesitant for their own checkup. And I think your words were eye-opener for everybody. You have removed all those social taboos and habits and helping other women to come out of it. I'm asking you the next question in same contest. In one of your interview, you said that I was emotionally disturbed. I was not realizing that I'm such a fit person, why cancer should happen to me. And you have consulted a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Even today, even so many learned people, so many literate people are hesitant to take a help of a psychiatrist or a psychologist. What is your take and whether it was helpful for you?
Yes, definitely. And especially in today's day and age when we are going through the pandemic, I think, I'm not an authority on it and I definitely am not trained for it. But instinctively as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, when you look at your loved ones, I do feel that we will come out of the pandemic, but we are really going to have a mental health issue over here, and which none of us are really talking about enough. And because, human beings, this is something that has happened once in a century, and we are going through unprecedented times, historical times, and we are all, thank God for internet and social media, which we lambast to a lot of degree, but which has seen us through this pandemic, because it would have been crazy had we not had this connection. And I'm able to sit in my home and able to join this conference that you're doing. But imagine not being able to do that, because we are social creatures and we need the contact. And hence this pandemic has also brought ahead a lot of other mental issues. And we really, all of us need to talk about it a lot more. What started in 2018 for me in dealing with a disease has kind of gone forward. I dealt with it at that point. I took help at that point. And believe me, in this last year, it has been even harder. The pandemic has been very, very hard. And I reached out and I asked for help again in this last year. And it helped me a lot. The counseling that I went through helped me navigate my health issue, the mental state, even through the pandemic. And it is definitely something that we all need to have conversations about, and we need to appreciate what counselors do, and not just term it as, something that, oh, you know what, I'm, as women, if I'm not mistaken, if I can take the liberty to say it, all of us ask ourselves, the first question we ask is, am I overthinking it? I'm being dramatic. Because that's what, as girls, we are always told, stop being dramatic. When you go through the period pain, stop it, be tough. You have to bear a child, bear the pain. But you know what? I don't need to bear the pain. If I'm feeling the pain, there is something wrong. Why am I feeling that pain? I shouldn't be feeling it. Why am I not being checked to figure out? And then we have girls who are going through PCODs and endometriosis for 20 years. They go through the pain and then realize this is what it was. But why should you go through so long with all that pain? And so there's a lot of this outlook which we come from, which, was okay for a certain point of time. I'm not saying that was not wrong. You needed to be a certain way, but world has changed and life has changed, and we need to look at it in a new way. And in this new age, mental health is going to be very, very important. And I think understanding it and seeking help is absolutely normal and should be done.
Yes, mental health is equally important, and only balanced mind like Sonali can think and overcome everything. Now I'm coming to our next sensitive question. Sonali ji, you belong to an industry which is glittery and glamorous. झगमगाती दुनिया से ताल्लुक रखते हो आप, जहां external appearance, your looks, your dressing sense, your makeup, and your outer beauty is very, very important. You yourself were a brand ambassador for so many hair care products and everything. So what was your reaction to your bald face after chemotherapy? What was your reaction when you were told that now we cannot go for robotic surgery and we have to go for open surgery and you will have a big scar on your body? So how you reacted?
First reaction when I heard I won't be going to, I said, I'll have such a huge scar. And it was like my husband looked at me saying that, after everything that you've been through, we come to a stage after a certain set of chemos is when you go through that surgery. And, he said that, it's your life, you're worried about a scar. And that was like, I said, yeah, what am I doing? I mean, it's just a scar. And, do I not want my life? I mean, how can life, scar be more important than the life? So it was, yes, a wake-up call, and it was not easy. And it's overwhelming even today when I talk about it. It's become easier as time passes, and now that the hair is back and I'm enjoying various haircuts. But the fact remains that for the fact that all your life and your career has been about the looks, and to not have that it was a wake-up call. And I think in a way, I think it was universe teaching me a lesson, because at some point or the other, all of us in this industry that we are in are going to age, not going to be the way we were. And that's the reality of life. And I suppose the faster we embrace it, the better it is. And it's just a new way of looking at it. What I learned from it was that there is beauty in imperfection. I come from an industry where you're looking for perfections all the time. The fact that you accept the fact that there is a beauty in imperfection. And when you accept that, you will learn to love that little lines under your eyes, because you know what? Those lines under my eyes have come with a lot of experience. There are a lot of stories that those lines are telling. Those laugh lines also telling a lot of stories, So I have learned to appreciate the fact and respect the stories that have been part of my growing up. And we are all evolving, and I will keep growing, and I will keep adding those stories to my face, to my body, to my hair. And I just keep that these are newer stories, and it's part of it just tells that I am a woman who has lived a certain life, and I come with certain experience, and that experience is very cherished, and it's education. Every experience is educational. Hence, I think those lines and the scars are my PhD.
That's the thing. Beauty in imperfection. Sonali ji, we all wish you to go on adding stories, and we will come back to you again and again to listen these inspirational stories. I remember when you got down from the plane from New York, when you came back with that bald face, you were looking extremely amazing and graceful. आपला माणूस आपल्याकडे पुन्हा तसंच्या तसं परत आलाय, हा आनंद शब्दातीत असतो. I think love and affection for you was beyond everything.
Thank you.
At that difficult time when you were diagnosed with this cancer, your son Ranveer was hardly 20. What a tender age. How was it a challenge to your motherhood? How you tackled that relationship with a tender age son?
Well, Ranveer was 12 years old when I was diagnosed with the cancer, and then has been part of that treatment. Today we are at a better place. It was amazing how Ranveer understood this. He surprised Goldie and me with the maturity with which he understood it. I've told this story before, but it was when Goldie was explaining to him that why we were here. And he said that, Mama has been detected with cancer. And he just said, do you know what? And he said, Papa, I know what it means. It's going to be very hard for the family. And he said, what do you mean? He said, no, it's with Mama. I've read a book, and in which there was a child who was going through it, and how it affects all the relationships, and how there's a lot of support that's going to be needed, and etc. And it was amazing. So this book that we had read at some point as a story, and together, was something that 3 years down the line had helped him deal with my illness, and he could understand what it was going to be because he had read that book. So I would say that as a parent, I was very surprised, and I got a lot of confidence at 12. At that point of time, I was so happy that my son had understood it. I appreciated his maturity at that point of time. And second thing, I was somewhere, I felt that, I was hovering over him, being very protective about him. I realized that, okay, he's grown up, and I can take a step back and let him be independent. So I could let go and start letting him be independent. And that confidence came to me because of the way Ranveer dealt with this situation. Where parenting was concerned, other thing that I realized was there are a lot of times when, if I'm truly, truly honest, I would say that there are times when you question the fact that, I gave up a lot of things. Maybe giving up is such a negative way to say it, but I made a choice to not take on certain things, but, spend that time with the child because I was a mother. And that was the moment where I felt, I'm so glad I did what I did, because if few months down the line, a year down the line, if I cannot survive this disease, at least my son and me had those 12 years, which were totally uncompromisingly ours. And I have to fight, and I want to be there for him. He's too young for me to let him go. And hence I'm going to fight this for him. But if I do not survive this, at least this 12 years, there are no regrets at that time to think that, oh my God, had I given him more time? At least there are no regrets about that. So I was just very, very glad that I did take a step back, and I did divide and balance my parenting and my working. And this was one moment where it showed me no regrets at all. I'm so glad I gave him that time that I did.
Great answer. Great answer. Friends, many of you might not be knowing that Sonali ji is a great author also, and she has written a book, Modern Gurukul, and it is about parenting. And so we have to involve our children, and sometimes they become your parent at times or in some situations. Now about your famous taglines, #1day@a time and #switch on the sunshine. How you fought this battle and how you conquered it.
Well, I think these are the taglines which apply to all of us, even today, more so today, in fact, in this pandemic. One day at a time came from my husband, in the sense of he would keep telling me, the moment when there's so much happening and you start feeling overwhelmed and you feel like you can't breathe because there's just so much to deal with. And I get emotional about this even today, but at that time, just when everything is so overwhelming, and at that point of time, I remember Goldie saying that let's just deal with today. Let's just deal with today. And just that one day at a time, just taking that one day, let's just get through today. And then let's just get through tomorrow. And then let's just get through one day more. And suddenly you realize you've been through a week, you've been through a month, and hey, you've been through a year. And today, I'm here. So, by taking it one day at a time, because had I not looked at it that way, I would have been so overwhelmed that I wouldn't have been able to deal with it. So taking one, let's deal with today, and portioning it helped me deal with it rather than getting overwhelmed. At the same time, when you say one day at a time, doesn't mean that you don't have a vision for future. You do need to have a vision for future. And if you're going to only look at today and let me enjoy today, and no, I don't care about saving for tomorrow, I don't care about my insurances, etc., etc., it doesn't apply for that. So there has to be a balance. Like I say in Modern Gurukul, my book, where parenting is concerned, life is about balance. And we need to keep balancing that out between what we want, what we need to do for a child. Do we take just this moment of time and live in the moment, or we think a bit for the future also? Everything has to be a balance. And where Switch on the Sunshine was concerned, it was every time I felt those clouds coming in and starting to feel, I'm like, move the clouds, let's switch the sunshine on. And that's where it came from. It was just a visual of feeling the dark clouds coming and me mentally in my head actually pushing the visual of the clouds apart and saying, bring the sunshine out, switch it on, come on. And it was just this visual every time that I felt overwhelmed, the visual of getting the sunshine out just saw me through a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's where they come from.
Great, great. I remember your first open interview, and at that time, sometime you used to choke. Sometimes means आंखें भर जाती थी, and you said, "No, I don't want to cry. मेरा mascara wash off हो जाएगा." What a great line, and that speaks volumes about your courage and confidence. And you have said that it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to feel low. Sometimes it's okay to cry. It is better than showing a fake face all the time to virtual media.
So when I went on to social media, one thing that I promised myself is I'm not going to lie about what I go through, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be a whiner and a complainer and only tell about the sad part of it. Because, everything has its plus. And of course, what I went through, it brought my core group, my family, they all came in and they were all there. And you know what? I actually had such a great time, other than the fact that the pain and the side effects of the chemo were terrible. But I got time with so many of my friends and colleagues. And I have to tell you, from singers to music composers to cameramen to actors, directors, people I knew, everybody who came to New York came and visited me. And I met so many people whom I had not met for years together. It was so amazing to catch up. Every single day that I was there, I had a block of time which I would keep to meet people in the evenings, or just even if it was meet them in the garden, meet them in the apartment that I was in. But I just made a point to meet with everybody who would come in. And it was so amazing to catch up with, because it had been certain amount of time since I had worked. So it was amazing to catch up with so many of my colleagues and co-workers and fellow artists. It was amazing. And friends and social friends and people whom I'd known for so many years. But it was a lovely opportunity to in the city that we live in, you meet at parties, you meet at gatherings, and you really don't get time to connect. But here it was in another city while I was recovering, when they were coming to visit me one-on-one. We sat on a couch and we had such amazing conversations, and I really got to know another layer to all the people that I have known, that I thought that was an amazing blessing to have. And so every time that there is something that looks like it's not, there is something that you're learning out of it. And I kept telling myself that this has happened to me because there's something that I have to learn. There is some lesson in this. There's some lesson in this. And when you are open to learning, and if you're open to the fact that there is a lesson that you can learn from this, there is something that you can grow from, there is something that you can evolve from this, then it just makes it bearable. And then it's just a way that you look at things and move on in a joyful way. And hence everything that I have put out on my I've never put out sad VP things, because there was a lot of things that to look forward to. Also just understanding the fact that my husband, my partner, my best friend, was straddling 2 continents, and the way he was there behind me, rock solid. We all take the vows, we all promise to be there for each other, but to actually be able to say and see your partner being with you through the thick and the thin, through the period when we met, from being this glamorous person to not being the glamorous person, and to see that your partner loves you enough, even in that zone itself was an eye-opener, because we take all those things for granted. And so there was learning in it, and I wanted to share that with everybody.
I completely agree with you that there is always a caring, intelligent, techno-savvy husband behind every glamorous lady. And I can vouch for it. Sonali ji, you have a book club also, a virtual Sonali's book club. And it is a wonderful concept. What all things you love in reading and everything, what all things you do for your me time. Rather, how do you like to pamper yourself?
Various things that I do. The book club was also one of the reasons that I formed the book club, was when I got onto social media, which I had not been on. And my team was like, there are too many fake stories that go around, fake accounts that go around. We can't keep correcting it. Please, we need you, so that there's that blue tick where we know that this is where it is and you're, kind of putting out the information. So my team was really after me that you need to be on it. So I got onto it. And when I got onto it, I realized, my God, this is such an amazing medium. And how can I use it in a good way? Because, social media is a tool. It's how we use it. And do I want to have a fruitful or a positive conversation, or do I want to get into bickering and fighting and trolling and all of that negativity? So early on, I was like, I want to use it for a positive purpose. How can I help with it? And I realized that over a period of time as a mother, I'd gotten out of the habit of reading, because everybody who is a mother realizes that you're so busy taking care of the child and their timings that you kind of are looking at small articles, or looking at little things. And of course, YouTube and social media is not helping. It's giving you little nuggets in which you can read, and you feel, oh, I've read enough, and you give up on books. And I really was missing reading books, so I wanted to get back to it. So I figured that if I formed a book club, and then if we read a book together, and then if I would discuss the book, then I would have to finish the book. And hence it was more of a discipline for me, and that's how I started the book club. And today it's joyful. The fact that the book club, I can put out what I feel like reading, and it's my choice of things. And the conversation that we have around the books are so amazing. And this book club, which started as just doing something that was positive, was something that saw me through my my illness and my disease, because through New York, through everything, we were choosing books. There were recommendations that my book club members were sending to me, which were amazing. When I said I don't want to read something sad, they would send me hopeful things that I could read. So it really saw me through a lot of hard times. And so in the meantime, I would say reading books still works a lot for me, and is one of the things that I go to. But since my illness, I would also say a lot of my me time is spent in healing, and which would mean various types of, getting your body back to normal means exercise. And exercise does not mean just getting a bikini body, so to say, but the fact that I want to be fit, not thin, but fit, to be able to have my core back, especially after that. I don't have core muscles left. To just get them all back is going to be, and is a challenge. When I came into got off the plane, I didn't walk out of the airport. I didn't get out in a wheelchair. I was on a wheelchair. I said, that's not the visual I want. Even if it is slow, even if I'm hanging on to somebody, I want to walk out. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. And that is the visual. That's what I'll keep remembering. Be it my bald head, be it me struggling to walk, not accepting a wheelchair was an important thing, because I kept feeling that the moment you get into the comfort that somebody's pushing you and there's a wheelchair, I'm not going to make the effort to step out of it. And that has been the thing. When I need support to get up, today I will get up from the floor without any support. But there was a time when I couldn't from this chair get up without help, because my muscles were also gone, my nerves were shot, my blood flow was not proper. There are still areas where my blood flow is not proper because the veins are scarred, but I'm getting there. It's a slow process, but I'm getting there. So it started with physiotherapy every day. It went into band workout. I went into aqua therapy, which helped me. Yoga helped me a lot. And now I have started picking weights again. And that has been a huge journey. So that again is part of me time that I give myself, because I definitely, I feel that what this disease showed me was at 90, if I live till 90, that wheelchair bound me that I came would be me somewhere close to 90. And the visual in front of me is that even at 90, I don't want to be wheelchair bound. I don't want to be that person. Even at 90, I want to be the person who can take care of myself and my needs and not be dependent on anybody for it. And now is the time that I need to build on it if that's the way I want to be at 90. So that is my me time also now.
Thank you very much, Sonali ji. You have already given so many take-home messages to all of us. Any other thing which you want to add?
I think I've spoken too much anyway, and
Either we have
let me go ahead with your program. I would just like to add all the best for the society, and thank you for having me. And it's always a pleasure to talk to doctors, and because there's so many things that I always learn when I take part in things like this. So thank you so much for that, and it was wonderful meeting you.
Thank you, thank you. It was completely our pleasure to see this warrior, to see this soldier. जितना सोचा था, जितना चाहिए, जितना जाना था, आप उससे बहुत ज्यादा बेहतरीन हो. So friends, here is a real beauty with a brain. Here is an honest lady who is so sincere with her emotions as well as thoughts. Here is a phoenix who is rising from the ashes of the cancer. A real Karkasur Maidini. Sonali ji, I loved you as a human being and a lovely friend. काश ये समय हमारे बीच में नहीं आता, नहीं तो दोबारा मिलने की ख्वाहिश तो हम जरूर रखते हैं. That is my bucket list. I give you a जादू के झाप्पी and virtual hug from here, and I salute your courage. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for so much love. Thank you.
Really, Sonali, a big salute from the entire society to you. Really have no words to express what I'm feeling right now. So inspiring you are. Truly a beautiful soul inside out. I'm choked with emotions, feeling that, lump in my throat, having witnessed and been through a journey of cancer through very close quarters with my own sister. Just I would like to tell you, when you visited National Cancer Institute in Nagpur.
Okay.
So
Yes.
Shailesh is my brother-in-law, and his wife, Vaishali, is my elder sister. So that's been a journey with us, and we've seen this tough time from close quarters. So I could relate to each and everything that you said. So really a big salute to you. Speechless today, really. Thanks for accepting our invitation. Truly honored. We are truly honored to have you as the guest of honor today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
वाह, it was such a lovely and lively interaction with Sonali ma'am. हमारी प्यारी बसंती का तहे दिल से शुक्रिया. And Sonali ji, you were also genuine and candid in your responses. I think she has logged out, but then she was really genuine and candid in her responses. We all have enjoyed and learned a lot from this interaction, Anu ma'am. Thank you so much for taking this big responsibility.
Always a pleasure.
सारी दुनिया जानती है कि गब्बर की हर बात सांबा के बिना पूरी नहीं होती रे. वैसे ही वीआर वर्ल्ड में वैदेही मैम का हर काम एनओजीएस के सांबा राजसी के बिना पूरा नहीं होता है. So now we welcome our Samba, Dr. Rajasi Sen Gupta, our beautiful secretary, to propose the vote of thanks. Just before that, an announcement. We were very lucky to get the consent of Ms. Smriti Irani ma'am, Minister of Textiles, with an additional charge of Minister of Women and Child Development, as our chief guest for today's program. But due to some emergency engagement, she couldn't join us here. But we are thankful to her for accepting and honoring our invitation. So, Samba, over to you.
थैंक यू जय एंड वीरू. आज गब्बर ने पूछा नहीं है कितने आदमी थे, वरना काउंट रखना मुश्किल हो जाता था. पॉपुलैरिटी के टीआरपीस तो आज स्काई रॉकेटिंग है, तो क्या कहे कितने आदमी थे. बट अब शराफत से वोट ऑफ थैंक्स देने की बारी आ गई है. कैन आई शेयर माय स्क्रीन?
Yes, ma'am.
Just one moment, please. Yes. So coming to my routine duty of proposing the formal vote of thanks, although it has always been heartfelt thanks to each and every person who has been a part of our journey right from day one till today and the last few days remaining of this tenure. But today is an extremely important day, the Gynecon 2021. For the first time in the history of NOGS, we are hosting a virtual conference. A virtual conference completely in a virtual tenure. All thanks to Babaji, Mr. Corona. As Madam has rightly said, he is our guest, a not so welcome guest and on an extended vacation. So पहले दिन से जैसे हमने हैंडओवर लिया उस दिन हमने ये बी का हमारा लोगो अनवील किया था एंड NOGS 2021 का हमारा टेन्योर शुरू हुआ था. बट तब से ये जो एक है ना, ये हमारा लोगो बन गया है. तो आज मैं मेरे वोट ऑफ थैंक्स में इसे एक परमानेंट फिक्सचर करके एक और लोगो बना के रखने वाली हूँ. So he is going to show up every time in the center. Gynecon 2021, basics and beyond ordinary. As you all know, last whole year, I have been working with this extremely extraordinary Nari. And she is a complete dynamite. She is a fireball of ideas, thoughts, energy, and she has the vision and passion to get everything done to the perfection of a T. Working with her has been extremely learning experience. बहुत कुछ सीखे हैं, बहुत कुछ समझे, अभी भी काफी कुछ बाकी है. But thank you so much, ma'am. Gynecon was her brainchild and she wanted to do it come what may. And I'm so happy that today she has lived her dream to her fruition. We started yesterday evening with the workshop on gynecological emergencies. It was a never before like a kind of a workshop. Gynec emergencies have always been actually very close to our hearts, but very less handled any time before this. And the team of Fernandez Hospital relayed from Hyderabad and gave us an absolute fantastic 4 hours of academic feast. The faculty, Dr. Kameshwari, Dr. Vinata, Dr. Krishnaveni, Dr. Surekha, Dr. Kripa, Dr. Vishakha, and Dr. Jogita went on to answer all our queries and put forth clinical case perspectives to give us a detailed insight into various gynecological emergencies. Profuse thanks to the chairpersons for the team for the sessions, Dr. Rujuta, Dr. Madhuri, Dr. Alka ma'am, and Dr. Ashish sir, and to the MOCs, Dr. Riju and Dr. Rupali for smoothly conducting the workshop last evening. The morning session had the poster presentations. Special thanks to the judges, Dr. Sulabha Joshi, Dr. Ashish Zararia, Dr. Manjushri Vaikar, and Dr. Anil Humne. The paper presentations for infertility and endoscopy session were judged by Dr. Chaitanya Shembekar, Dr. Darshana Pawar, Dr. Shilpi Sood, Dr. Manjula Rohatgi ma'am, and Dr. Pavan Gulhane. Their inputs and their questions were extremely relevant and gave a very different perspective to the entire session. Thank you so much, respective judges. Papers and poster presentations would never have happened in two simultaneous sessions without our coordinator team, Dr. Moshmi, Dr. Bhakti, Dr. Jayashri Upadhyay, Dr. Sumit, Dr. Kunda, and Dr. Manisha. This team has worked right from the day one and helped with smoothly conducting the papers and poster sessions. And for the scientific session today, we have had absolutely fantastic faculties. Dr. Evita Fernandez, what can I say? A born leader, absolute crystal clear clarity in thoughts when she told us about building up a team. It was entirely a different perspective to what we look at obstetric units till now. Thank you so much, Evita ma'am. Professor Ajay Rane, as I nicknamed him, the god of urogynecology. Indeed, salute to you, sir. The lucidity with which you have explained the basics of urogynecology is simply amazing. Dr. Osama, always we look forward to listening to you. You are a style icon, sir, with a lot of panache, and you have always been a superb academician. Extremely eagerly looking forward to your interesting session after this. And Dr. Vaidehi ma'am, her presidential oration was like 50 not out, Corona not out, 1 year tenure not out. She's never not out. So kudos to you and cheers to you for a wonderful session, wonderful oration, and a wonderful tenure, ma'am. My special thanks to all the chairpersons of the scientific session from today morning, Dr. Buhariwala ma'am, Dr. Varsha Dhavde, Dr. Chaitanya Shembekar, Dr. Anuradha Ridorkar, Dr. Lakshmi Shrikhande, Dr. Mangala Gisad, Dr. Sushma Deshmukh, and Dr. Shobha Gandhi. And the masters of ceremony for the scientific session, Dr. Suvarna Joshi and Dr. Amok Chimote. Thank you so much, guys. You both are techno savvy and have added Sone Pe Suhaga to our virtual reality world always. The inauguration, guest of honor, you just heard her, Sonali Bendre, आमची लाड़की सोनाली. जिस तरीके से उन्होंने दिल से दिल तक बातें किया है, मेरे ख्याल से जिन्होंने सुना है सबके दिल को छू गई है. She is as sweet as that. It was an honor and pleasure to have her with us. And our Anuradha Ridorkar ma'am, amazing style and amazing way of conducting the interview flawlessly. Your questions actually gave us an insight into the off-screen real Sonali. It was wonderful, ma'am. Really a pleasure. Thank you so much. And the beautiful masters of ceremony, हमारे लाल परिया, nicknamed themselves as Jay and Viru, Dr. Shivangi Jagdar and Dr. Yamini Kade. Thank you so much, sweethearts, for conducting the inauguration so well. Of course, this could not have been possible without our team of our office bearers, our executive committee members. They are all always with us and they have helped to bring this to fruition, this Gynecon. And finally, the entire family of NOGS. In fact, I should actually extend this, not just the family of NOGS, even the family of AMOGS and Foxy. You people have always been supporting us in each and every of our academic and non-academic programs all through the year. Tahe dil se shukriya aap log ka. And ICOG, I can never forget Dr. Mandakini Meg madam and Dr. Parag Beniwale sir. They have always been kind enough. Even today, Gynecon has been credited with 4 ICOG credit points. Thank you so much to both of you for all your support and cooperation all through the year.
Yeah, Dr. Parag is logged in today, Rajyasree. He's with us today.
Thank you so much, sir.
Amok,
Please
can you just unmute him? After Rajyasree's talk, we'll request him to say a few.
Yes, certainly. Thank you, ma'am. Education partners, जिनके बिना हर काम अधूरा होता है, but इस बार सब कुछ virtually हुआ. Thank you so much to all of you for being supportive to us. And our office staff, Mr. Shubham and Mr. Kapil. You guys have done a great job. Thank you so much, always. But picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Stay tuned. Coming up is in just 2 days later is the interesting event of PG Force, a grand academic bonanza of complete hardcore academics, and uske baad award ceremony अगले हफ्ते. अगला संडे हमारे लिए बुक करके रखिए, because we are going to be here with an absolutely Santa Claus type of a big bag and basket of awards to thank and give our appreciation and gratitude to all of those who have helped us, who have been with us all through the year, all those who have worked tremendously, tirelessly, and made our tenure a grand success. So please keep watching out for our notices, and we'll be back soon to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajyasree, for that wonderful vote of thanks. Vaidehi ma'am, do we need to unmute Dr. Parag sir? You wanted?
Yeah, Amok, Dr. Parag is there. Could you unmute him?
So I invite Dr. Parag sir to give his address for today's conference, please.
I wasn't prepared for it. Anyway, thank you so much, Vaidehi. I was watching the proceedings right from your lecture to Evita's, and then a wonderful lecture by Ajay Rane, and of course my dear friend Anuradha interviewing Miss Sonali Bell. So it was really amazing, and I think it was a Sunday well spent. You know, somebody asked me, "Aaj webinar nahi hai?" I said, "No, nothing. There's no commitment, no lecture." But I really enjoyed the NOJS program and the spectator. So thank you very much, and must compliment you and your entire team for amazing work that you've done. just one suggestion, put everything together, apply for the Best Society Prize. I think you all deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parag. You've been a big, big support all through my tenure. Thank you so much. Value your help always.
Thank you.
Thank you, Parag sir. And thank you, Vaidehi ma'am, for giving us this opportunity. So, Gaonwalo, this is Jay and Viru now signing off from Ramgarh. Thank you all for patient listening and making this session a memorable one. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaidehi ma'am, for the opportunity. Thank you so much.